live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Join the Anarchy, the interactive and improvised Shadowrun Anarchy actual play here on ShadowcastersNetwork. Glad to be back. Back to be glad. Glad to be glad, and back to be back.
All right.
That's
I think
thing, right?
I follow. I follow.
I got
Hi, I'm Oz. I wanted to do an actual intro. Dude, we gotta stop going on these hiatusi.
Yeah.
Is that how you say multiple hiatu?
Hiatus.
Hiatus?
Hiatusai.
I honestly today was like, oh, I have anarchy. And it felt so weird to say that I have anarchy today.
It's true. I felt kind of like, man, I haven't really GM'd this style consistently, and I feel weird. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah,
especially
now
after the
that
Shadowcasters Network, after we did the streamathon.
Yeah.
I did so many like structured RPGs. I was like, oh man, this is, and the sprawl is a little more more structured.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh,
paranoia.
Yeah, paranoia, totally structured.
That's fun.
Yeah. And Trav, you did an excellent job on our Join the Anarchy filler episode last time. New Horizons.
I'm sorry, filler?
So
you mean canon?
It's
Join the Anarchy.
Mm-hmm. But seriously though, you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
I wish I was there.
Kyle is still out there. That's canon.
I noticed that episode, that your episode actually went up, but our previous episode, episode 24, was not on our YouTube. I don't know why.
Ooh.
So sorry about that. I noticed it literally today as I was leaving work. I was like, oh, I should take care of that. And I got home and dogs chewed up everything. And yeah, I mean, just, yeah.
Yep.
So I had no time to fix that, but
it's okay. The most important thing was salvaged from the streamathon, and we have multiple gifs of Oz grinding on a snake. So
I will always be proud of this.
Has Adrian seen that routine? Have you shown?
Of course he did. He watched it live with his coworkers.
In person.
His coworkers.
He was at work, and he's like, "Look at my boyfriend go." Sorry, my boyfriend, my husband. Sorry.
Well, I know, right? Wow.
Yeah.
My husband. Look at my husband. This is how he provides for his family.
Yeah.
My husband.
Oh man. Oh, so total side story, just to like get us warmed up, and so I had Cassie and Max from Shattered Isles, and you know Cassie as well from Night Witches, and she played Angela Crunch here on Join the Anarchy.
She's an excellent human.
Yes, excellent human.
Amazing.
I had them over this weekend, actually for a couple more. Yeah, I had them here at my house staying because they were doing Florida SuperCon. They were running their Alchemy Soaps booth. Which, by the way, those soaps smell amazing.
Plug. Go to her Twitter. Alchemy
Yes.
Soaps RPGs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So she's doing it, and the story is, so we rescued a little dog. Adrian rescued a dog at his job and brings him home because Cassie and Max decide, oh, we'll take care of him, because otherwise we would have called a shelter and it probably would have died. So anyway, so Cassie and Max are going to take care of this dog, and the story, this is a story about my gremlins that has to do with the dog. So they get home one night from the con, they're super tired, they're ready to go to bed, and they look at their bed and they're like, oh, dog peed on the bed. New rescue dog peed on the bed, and it looked like a egg yolk had been cracked onto it. And so we were like, okay, so what do we do? I just like look at Adrian. Adrian looks at me. Like we're just like, he peed on the bed. What do we do? And Max goes, have you ever, do you have a shop vac? And I'm like, what the hell is a shop vac? Neither of us have heard of a shop vac. Apparently it's this kind of vacuum that sucks up liquids. And we're like, okay, but no, did not know. So we go out, it sounded like witchcraft. We wanted it. We go ahead, we go to Walmart, grab it, buy it. Max comes and helps me pick it. And so, we get in there, he sprays it with the urine remover and starts sucking it up, and it's working, and it's fabulous until the shop vac takes this concoction of dog pee and chemical urine remover and starts spraying it out the back into the room and onto me and into my mouth.
Oh, in your mouth! Oh god!
Nice, dude.
So
It's a terrible thing.
Absolutely.
it got to a point where we had to put the thing in a garbage bag so that it could spray into that. No, well, I wish. No, that's going with Cassie and Max. Never mind. Sorry, no, not wish. Anyway, we had to put. He's actually a really nice dog. I'm not gonna say. But anyway, had to put it in a garbage bag so it could spray inside of it, and then we had to pluck this shop vac out of this pea soup to just empty it and put it in a box and return it the fuck to Walmart. Never to be seen again, because who makes a shop vac that sucks up liquid where the basin that it goes into is also the air vent? Who does that?
What if you bought the wrong shop vac?
That
It was called
one that
a
doesn't
hyper.
wet.
It was called a hyper thrust, or I don't know.
Yeah, no, it
It's
shouldn't. You're right that it shouldn't do that.
It shouldn't do that, no.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, that was.
That's gross. That's real gross.
It was totally gross. Yeah, that
Super
was
disgusting.
that was
Yeah.
yeah. And Cassie and Max were there for it, so they can
It's a great
corroborate.
moment.
So that's my
So-
story. I have gremlins.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway,
You just be glad it wasn't cat piss, or
Yeah.
else you would have just had some
just had
lovely
to
times.
move.
Yeah.
yeah.
That shit does not get out of anything.
No, it does
Ever
not.
just bottoms up to cheers to ammonia. And you just-
Yeah.
This is the smell now in our house.
Yeah. All right. So, let's go ahead and get started, shall we?
I could.
I don't know. I want more pee stories, actually.
I
So,
tell one.
there was this one time, I think the date was July 8th, 2019.
Yeah.
Live on stream, actually pissed myself in front of everybody. Unrelated note, be right back.
No one will ever know.
Join the Anarchy. We are interactive and improvised. Why are we interactive? Because you, chat, can make suggestions as we play in chat, which we are monitoring. And every time that we like one of your suggestions, we go ahead, we take it, we incorporate it into the story, we credit you, and we give you a raffle ticket. And that raffle ticket is entered into a raffle drawing. Yeah. Yeah, we don't just look at this raffle ticket, and it is for $25 on. Wait, did it? Yeah, $25 on Drive Through
Yeah, 'cause we
RPG.
kept the old raffle names.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
$25
yeah.
in Drive Through RPG, which is enough to buy yourself a copy of Shadowrun Anarchy and Shadowrun Chicago Chaos, or hey, maybe one of those Shadowrun 6th edition books that all those kids are talking about.
That'd be great.
What?
Shadowrun 6th edition. It's a thing.
What?
Yeah. You know, ShadowcastersNetwork broke the news on Shadowrun 6th edition. It was pretty neat. And we have the very first actual plays on 6th edition.
I was gonna say, man, I really hope I could watch an actual play right now because I'm really interested about what the system brings.
Well, we happen to have a live one on Thursdays.
What?
Here on
Oh
here
my
on Twitch.
God. Oh, and when is Anarchy 2?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Join the normalcy.
Join
Not-
the normalcy.
Not gonna lie.
The next Shadowrun book is just normalcy.
That's it. I forget sometimes that the system isn't called Join the Anarchy.
It's called,
Yeah.
It's called Shadowrun Anarchy.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, but just quick cool little news since we're all just trying to reacclimate ourselves to streaming.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people who are interested in the Shadowrun universe, including people like Matt, who shows up a lot, and Sarah. They're all interested in the Shadowrun universe, but SR5 is intimidating and hoo boy. And so
Yes.
I might
Yeah.
be DMing another Anarchy game for them. Gonna be a little bit more structured than this, since it's not gonna be in front of an audience or anything like that. And I know some of them are like, "What do you mean? I'm also the GM?" And I'm like, you know what? I didn't like it at first, but now whenever I play other systems, I'm like, all right, and I do this specifically. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, Shadowrun 6th edition as an alternative also, I guess that's a thing, but we obviously prefer Shadowrun Anarchy here. So this is a more narrative system, and those plot points that we get from taking your suggestions, we can use to shape the story ourselves. So it's in our best interest to go ahead and use them. We also get some mechanical benefits from using those as well. And speaking of mechanical benefits, we also have a stream boss right up there at the top, and every time that stream boss is defeated, by cheering, donating, following, and subbing, HP gets knocked down, and when it's defeated, your name goes up in lights if it was you who dealt the final blow. And at the very end of the stream, the very last stream boss will get to build an NPC with me for the next session. Previously, the winner, I believe, was the winner was Cole, but he gave it up. Or Cole gave it up to Rats. So Rats came up with our
we're
boss.
dead this session. I forgot.
Oh my god.
And
That's right. So just so everyone know, Rats is one of those peeps who is kind of a forever GM. He's been GMing every tabletop for like almost 30 years. And I have been playing his games for a long time, and I'm scared.
Yeah, he likes
Because when he won, the first thing he said in chat was, "You're fucked."
You're
Yeah.
fucked.
he likes to
So-
take like bosses or enemies and then like jack them up on steroids.
He's
and
the
try
kind of
to
guy who he's like, "Look at all these awesome creatures of this system. Boring. I'll make my own."
yeah, pretty much.
It's like,
Ooh,
no.
we all got a point of edge. Thank you, Nick Morgan.
Whew. Thanks, Cool. Thanks, Nick.
Excellent.
Thank you, guys.
So yeah, those points of edge help us re-roll dice, which last session y'all needed. Previously on Join the Anarchy, the team is still in the middle of a long night where they are infiltrating the Ares world headquarters in their hometown of Detroit. And the reason is because they want leverage on Copper Colton, who happens to be Voltar's daddy. And yeah, they're making their way up. They were cornered by knight-errant officers and a knight-errant mage who was sent into the building to locate them after they kind of like rang a couple of alarms here and there. And yeah, they basically knocked them all out, and now they're on this floor with Voltar passed out from inhaling tear gas. I know Deliverance is pretty injured as well. Ish.
Yeah, I'm not
I
doing
was
so good.
healed. I have 9 out of 12, so.
Yeah, I'm healed up, but I have no armor.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, I'm not a stun. That's why I'm passed out.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And let's see. Voltar was called by Copper Colton in the middle of all of this and said, "Hey, you should stand down and surrender and stop this silliness." And to which Voltar said, "Fuck you, Dad. I'm done with you."
Damn
and
right.
That's
not a phase, Dad.
It's not a phase. I like Shadowrunning.
It is not a phase. It is not
I'm
a
sorry,
glitch.
Dad. I can't let you do that.
I have said that in the past.
And let's see what else. Deliverance picked up one of the walkies, the comms to the Knight Errant team. Asked, where do I do with the target, because they were about to go ahead and take passed out Voltar. And they said to please deliver directly to Copper Colton on floor 308.
308.
That's right. In addition, Fritz was going through the mages. Oh, bam. Thanks for that cheer. Cool. That's a thousand bits. Holy shit. Nice. On our way to second defeat. Yeah, so You're going through the Knight Errant Mage's stuff and came. You found her Knight Errant badge, the name Becky on it, and Becky is some kind of last name, and her comm link, which you were about to sift through before we decided to end it on a cliffhanger.
Oh yeah.
Was there anything? Oh, also, you all got a data chip from Motown infiltrator Lucas Kane, who is basically like one of the neo-anarchists of Detroit, and said you need to plug this into something valuable. It's going to siphon a bunch of data that we need. That we honestly will take anything juicy, and we can go ahead and release it to the public.
Oh, we each have one?
No, you just have the one. I think it was. I think it went to either Voltar or Deliverance because Fritz was in the middle of fending off some ice.
Yeah, I think I have it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Deliverance got it.
Yeah, I remember you snatched it. It was you.
Awesome.
Yep. Okay, so good.
All right.
So let's settle back in. You are standing right now amidst a set of cubicles, all of which are under construction. This dark room, just emergency lights, and a bunch of cool taking the stream boss. That's another point of edge. Thank you very much. Standing amidst a bunch of passed out or dead Knight Errant officers. Mostly passed out. I believe the only one that died was the mage.
Yeah.
Voltar is also unconscious. And Fritz is going through Thistle's comlink, Thistle the mage. So while chat, we're gonna go ahead and direct this question to you. What interesting information would a Knight Errant mage detective have on their comlink that will be useful to them? While chat helps us with that, tell us, what do you do?
Do I need to do a perception on it to see which one of us chooses what we find?
No, I would say you have total access. I'll let you pick.
That was me staring directly into the comm link, by the way. That's how he does it. You just put it to your eyes.
Do I find anything?
And you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Fritz is flipping through stuff. Deliverance, you're probably catching your breath, and what do you want to do, Deliverance?
I'm trying to see if I can heal. Have I healed you yet, Voltar?
You've healed me physically.
Yes.
But my stun is completely gone.
This is technically the same scene. Yeah, like everybody got a heal. Both of you healed yourselves.
Yeah.
So you would have to move on to a different I would say like a different location, really, and then like once we get a new scene going, you can go ahead and do that. So
okay, I think I want to wait to see what's on this comm link before we no, you know what, we should probably get moving, because once they figure out that they don't have us, they're going to be mobilized instantly.
Yeah, we need to do
so that. I need okay. Deliverance wants to make a call, but she's aware that, there's a chance everything's being tracked or caught or whatever. So she goes up to Fritz and says, all right, we need a way out of here, because even if we get up to where we have to go, we're gonna be screwed. We need to call for an extraction. I'm gonna call Nomad. Do you think they're gonna be able to intercept?
I would not take the chance to say they aren't. So if we are trying to make calls outside of this building, or probably at all, there may be some precautions in place.
Can you break them? Avoid them? Can I get a message out?
I can do my best.
All right. So yeah, she wants to make the call. But maybe I'll let you resolve Becky's comlink first because I see a few suggestions.
Can we take any of these, or does it have to be Travis or Oz?
Well, I was gonna
I'd say
take.
Trev.
I was gonna take Eric, saying node map to security drone / turret systems and maintenance codes.
Ooh, thanks for that. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Nice. To security drone turret systems and maintenance codes. All right.
Am I able to take multiple?
Yes.
It was supposed to be just one thing, and it's already
Okay.
giving you maintenance codes too.
Yeah.
So
Sounds good. Thanks, rats.
Okay.
I don't like calling you that. I'm gonna call you Eric.
all right.
That's
So
awesome.
as you're flipping through the through this comlink, you come across a whole network of security drone turret systems. Basically, you know exactly how to access. Ooh, resub. Thank you. 3 minutes, 8 months straight. Boom.
Nice.
Thank you. What was I gonna say? Yes. So you come across it, and it basically I'll say that the effect here is that they're much easier for you to hack because you can.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because you know exactly where they are and how to shut them down.
Very nice. Yeah. Fritz will give a gander at that, and then he'll store the comlink in one of his coat pockets and gives Deliverance a nod.
All right. So Deliverance is going to make the call. And I'm not sure how the technical side of it would work, seeing if anybody's watching the call, essentially.
I would assume we can have Fritz, do his technomancery thing and keep an overwatch, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fritz, go ahead and give me a matrix perception.
Okay. I was going to say before she does that, he hops into the matrix and he's going to compile a sprite. I remembered the keyword this time.
Hey, yes, pre-compile.
Compile.
Go
Keep
for
wanting
it.
to say conjure. Sorry, I'm always so good at remembering my roles. So
Tasking plus logic.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to do yeah. Screw it. I'm gonna spin an edge. So 5 successes. Tasking.
Okay. Now I remember why I had this over here. Sorry, 1 second. Are you comfortable with this level of success?
Gonna have to be.
There's 5 successes total?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you just barely are able to compile this thing from the matrix. I also got 5 successes. So since you matched, it is a success.
This resonance is thick.
Mhm.
It compiles a courier sprite to help with the perception tests.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
All right,
So
go ahead.
that one comes out and has like binoculars.
Cute.
All right, and then just logic plus willpower plus 2. Wait, no, hold on. That's. Oh god. So 12, 14. Oh god, that's 16 dice. I don't think I've ever rolled that much. Great.
Scroll over on your screen.
Wow. Yeah.
Awesome. So gonna use an edge.
Okay.
And there goes all of my edge.
Okay.
6 successes.
Okay. All right. So, Deliverance, you make an outgoing call to Nomad after Fritz gives you the everything looks clear sign.
Diddly-lee, diddly-lee.
Hey, Deliverance.
Hi. Sorry, no time for small talk. I need a favor.
Oh dear, what's up?
Would you be willing to be on standby for an extraction?
From the Ares building I saw you walk into several hours ago?
Yeah, specifically the 308th floor.
308th floor. Okay.
I'm just not really confident about our chances of getting down to the bottom and walking out the front door.
I might have to do some calls. Some favors.
Well, if you're able to, it'll be you'll be really saving our asses.
If I might step in. Hello, Deliverance.
Hi, Rolodex.
Hi. So this, the demeanor just changes entirely because Nomad is infected with CFD, and this is his CFD counterpart, the nanite that is overriding his personality.
Who also sold me my current sin once I
Yes.
faked my death and replaced my old one.
Yep. Says, I can potentially arrange for your transport. However, it will cost you.
What'll it cost me?
What do you have to offer?
Oh, shit. How about a special souvenir courtesy of Ares? Not sure what I can get my hands on, but if I find something good.
That doesn't sound like a guarantee.
I'm not sure I have anything you want, Rolodex.
Let me know when you do, and I'll arrange for a transport.
All right. I'll keep an eye out.
Excellent. Good luck.
She ends the call. Oh, what were you gonna say? I didn't see.
Oh, Nomad was gonna say something,
But oh well.
Oh,
You
no,
hung
no,
up on
no,
him.
no.
No, you hung up on him. Too bad.
Damn it! She ends the call and throws down her comm link and yells, "Fuck!" Sorry. I'm sorry.
Fritz's unconscious body leaned up against a wall.
She looks around. Voltar's passed out. Oh.
You're literally the only thing awake in this room.
Due to the fact that it is my job to eavesdrop on everything you do, I feel like this is probably a very inopportune time to bring it up, but also we don't have times that would be opportune. But the golden bikini that you procured from the Azatlan is in this building, and my trip to Berlin happened to bring a job opportunity to bring it back to a museum. Didn't find it to be an important thing to bring up, but also there are other things that I need to discuss with you about this building, preferably while she's awake, because it's something that I am sure will affect her a great deal.
Okay, this sounds like something maybe we should have discussed beforehand. On both counts.
As I said before, it is not the priority in this situation. It was simply something that someone found me in Berlin and gave me the job. It's the bottom of the list of priorities.
All right. She goes over to Voltar and like grabs her ankles and lifts up her legs and goes, oh no, that's not an option. Okay. We need to get her out of here and we need to keep moving.
I would like to access Voltar's cyber limbs and see if I can puppet her ass out of here.
She wants. I mean, she
That's
gave me
amazing.
full access, so unless she has like
amazing.
protocol things that
No.
prevent her from doing this,
Oh
then
my gosh, that's
she gave
so
me full
good.
access.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, if you have
Don't
full
break my
access.
Exactly. I'm playing Quap with Voltar.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Fritz is
God.
like, I have never done this before. So, and then yeah, he's like moving stuff around an AR and like he's like not gonna pass out for this because he also needs to leave. So he's like trying to and he's gonna attempt to have her weakened at Bernie's herself out of the room like a muppet.
Oh god, she's gonna run to that. No, right there. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Oh god.
Go ahead and
Don't
Should I
hurt
do
her
like
anymore.
should I do
Yes.
some sort of
Pilot.
hacking
piloting other.
pilot?
Piloting other. I like that.
Actually, no, I
But
guess it would be
wouldn't-
piloting
couldn't I-
ground. Piloting ground.
Piloting ground?
Piloting
Could I not
ground.
just do a hacking? Because that's what I'm doing,
Piloting
isn't it?
video
No,
game.
you're basically
just-
rigging into her.
You
and
are.
then
Well, I'm
use
like, I just figured I was like fucking with the code of her.
yes,
Yeah, like
but like,
okay.
but like we're talking about maneuvering her cyber
Sure.
limbs in physical
So,
space. So
I don't have
So it would
any
be,
of that. So
agility.
Agility?
Well, you know what? Because
You
no,
mean
if
you mean
you're-
logic, right?
Yeah, if you're rigging, well, if you're rigging, it should technically be agility anyway. You just get like bonus dice and stuff. So yeah, no, it would be agility.
He means logic. Great. All right. Cool. Here we go. 0.
We are not well suited for this task in any way.
Her up, man.
Yeah,
You
her,
guys-
her like
truly not
yeah,
an
her
option.
cyber limbs kind of like just.
She starts doing snow angels on the ground.
I
That's a great idea, though.
Yes.
I have 3 strength.
I have one.
I am a twinkish grandfather.
Wow, guys.
I'm very, very weak.
You could
Berlin sad
actually-
dad does not lift. Okay.
The only thing that I could think of is you could leave her here until you get a stun patch and then come back and slap her
Let's
with it.
let's just meta the game. Like quickly,
Oh,
Deliverance,
do I
run
have
into the hole and run back.
Exit the area. And
Blow yourself up and respawn.
It's okay. I quick saved.
Let's try that fight again.
Oh god.
Yeah, I mean, I can try to drag her along with you. I don't know if
Yeah,
if
I like-
you'll let us suffer through that.
Do we both just roll a strength and then face palm at the fact that it's not gonna work?
Yeah,
Like, it
sure.
really-
you
I mean,
can
we can at
try.
least try.
You are desperate.
2 successes.
One success.
Nice.
This is my one
Good job,
die.
team.
3. She's so heavy though.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can get her to make snowmen means she's like propelling herself along the floor as well.
Yeah, we can use that a little bit. You're like pushing something. She's
Just
moving,
pushing her
pushing
on
up her legs a little.
the unconscious guys that are on the ground.
Okay. So you find that with the help of Deliverance kind of flopping around, you're able to very slowly.
Could I have just
drag
done a
her
bio?
across the
Could I have just done a biotech to heal stun?
Like we need to get her to a different space. She's already been
Right.
healed.
Oh, so the magic heal and me doing a physical heal are the same
That's
thing.
a Shadowrun 5th edition, 6th edition thing. No.
Okay.
No,
so
it's
just
like-
healing in general.
Healing once per scene, and since we're still
Okay.
this is still technically a resolution of last time seen, I would say like we need to
Gotcha.
get you to a safe room. So, yeah, no, you're having it's a very, very slow process. You're
I'm
gonna need...
I'm gonna take Nick's suggestion.
Yeah, I was
That
just
we awkwardly lift her into an office chair and roll her around.
Okay.
There you go.
There
That's
you go.
fine. There you go.
All right,
Also,
yeah.
plot
So
point.
you
Thanks,
find,
Nick.
you find an office chair, plop her in, and now you have Voltar in a makeshift wheelchair.
So you have one strength, I guess. Fritz is pushing the chair.
So, you have the stairs, which you can't really use right now, or the ones that you had busted through in the secret passage that Lucas Kane allowed you to go through, or you can exit this floor and get to the elevators.
That's really our best option. We gotta get up high. We gotta go up quicker.
I have a suggestion, if I may.
You're unconscious.
Out of character suggestion, yeah, go for it. Only because you're unconscious, I feel bad.
Well, I was thinking because we have to get around and stuff. Why don't you guys just steal the outfits from the guys that we've knocked out so you can use the elevators since they're locked down and you have to be
I'm already
some sort of-
disguised.
Well, I mean, you have to be some sort of security protocol, and I feel like
Well,
I have a chameleon coat.
in these outfits, it's probably time to change.
I think that we at very least would use the guy who I was imitating. I'd use his security clearance to like get on the elevator, whatever like badge he had.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Because if these are full-plated Ares officers, they probably have like visors or something covering their face too.
Oh, that's
I mean,
a good
hell,
idea.
I have one plot point. I'd make that happen if you guys took those.
Those
off.
were
Yeah,
those
they're definitely
were
they're full. They were full
they're
armor.
Yeah, they're
they're
full armor.
knight
They had-
errant, so they like by default have the big yellow Tron helmet.
Yeah.
So, or
like,
Daft
that
Punk
also
helmet or
hides your
whatever.
face. Since you're taking her up to the 38th floor, or yeah, 308th floor. Why don't you guys just dress up in that and head up and then beat up Copper
Yeah.
Colton?
You know what I'll do? I'll take as you're pushing her toward the elevator, I'll disrobe 3 of them and just load it on top of Voltar. So now we're rolling a mill into the elevator so we can change on the way up.
Would you happen to want? You look over and you notice Thistle in her knight errant mage robe, the one that has the runes lined in them. Now the thing about that, it's not your tradition, but it's
She's a shaman, right? Was she a shaman?
She was a mage.
Oh, okay. Yes, I am very interested in that.
Fritz stops pushing the chair and looks over to Deliverance. How many arms are on her belt?
1.
Fritz will look at Deliverance and look at her one arm and look over to the bodies and then look at Deliverance and then keep pushing the chair towards the elevator.
I don't have anything to
The sprite
Even
still
she's
compiled in
gonna
the Matrix kind of is like, what the fuck? He's like, no, and he dismisses him.
I don't even have any like knives. I was going to say like Voltar has something on her, but I don't even have any like.
I also think that would take a pretty long time. I did actually think of that though. What about the hand, the shriveled hand that she had?
I
want to snag that.
Those gone. Yeah.
It disintegrated, I
Voltar.
believe.
Oh, disintegrated. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see, does this mage robe have any special powers? Or is it like a standard issue Ares mage robe?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception test, astral, or you could give me probably give me a. Actually, no. I think you'd give me spell casting to kind of just tell or sorcery, sorry, to see
Sorcery?
what's the deal with it.
And I would add my blood magic bonus since I'm still bleeding.
Yeah.
What's the deal with this robe? 6 successes.
So this is a necromancer's robe. This is like the necromancy school. In the Sixth World, necromancy is not like raising zombies and stuff. It's more about reading blood trails and identifying them to their owner. It's a lot of like
Sounds very
detective-y.
detective-y.
Yeah, lots of detectives, magic detectives will go into the necromancy school of magic, the necromancy field. It's very uncommon, but certain universities do teach it.
I think I found my next Anarchy character for season 3. That sounds fucking amazing.
That does sound fucking amazing.
And I would say with that, you would also know that now that you see these symbols and you're matching it to the necromancy, you've heard that there is a thing that they do, or that they can do, called the hand of glory, which now you realize that desiccated hand that was hanging at her side, it was the hand. That hand belonged to somebody talented in some way, and she was able, by having that as her focus, she was able to absorb the talent of that owner.
Oh.
So like, yeah. So you seem to remember that she was pretty good with pistols, and then when you destroyed the hands, she had to toss the pistols.
That's so fucking cool.
So they belong
Season 3, canon.
Yeah. They belong.
Okay.
They belong to somebody who's really good at shooting firearms. It seems like.
So this hand of glory, do I have access to use it if I'm wearing this robe?
No, I mean, again, all of these things you would have to. This isn't your tradition at all. So you would have.
So it's not giving me any benefit.
It looks wicked.
Yeah, it just looks
But
cool.
I look bad freaking ass.
And if you wanted to, it is a knight errant mage outfit, right?
Okay.
So
Standard
you can, right? So you could potentially pass as a knight errant mage, and if you wanted to in the future, you could just tear out the inside lining and then line it with something else in the future that is of your tradition.
Sounds good. Okay. So yeah, I will. That'll be one of my 3 outfits, and instead of the mask over the head, I'll get the face mask that she was wearing for the gas, to cover my face.
Cool.
Instead of the big yellow thing.
Fritz uses his chameleon coat to. It now goes from the like white lab coaty look to the match the knight errant uniforms in color scheme and design.
Excellent. Yeah, and Deliverance, just to give you an idea, like it looks like a detective's trench coat, but like
Cool.
to make it cyberpunk magic-y, right? Instead of being like that tan color from the 40s, it's like a gray.
Okay.
Dude, her design was fucking
darker than
awesome.
this. Darker than this. Probably like this gray right here on the lettering.
All right.
Sexy
I
girl.
love it. Oh, so cool. That was a cool character.
It was a cool design. It was a cool concept.
Yeah, well, she's dead. So let's
I kicked her ass.
let's roll.
She's dead, we're alive.
Let's roll on out of here. You open the doors, or first off, do you just open the doors, or do you want to hear at the doors or like detect anything?
I mean, we're on high alert for sure. I think we would definitely be watching and careful. But now I feel like I would be meta gaming if I was like, yes, we listen at the doors.
Well, the reason I suggest it is because you probably realistically would.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, I might as well just tell you. So when you kind of like peek through the door, you see the next office over, except this office is actually operational. And you see that people, it's empty. If anybody is still inside, they're probably taking cover. But it looked like it was like a functional office. It was still operating at the time.
Fritz puts on the knight errant helmet, digs through the outfits, and pulls. I guess I'll use a plot point to say, I don't know if I feel like it would be standard procedure. He gets I don't know if zip ties would be too like meh for knight errant. They would probably have like full on.
Yeah,
cups,
like
right. Yeah,
like
would
big chunky.
Yeah. So would I need to spend a plot point for that, or would that just be on there?
They would have.
Okay. So
those were going to be used for you.
He pulls them out, and grabs Voltar's arms and handcuffs her to the chair, and then like takes the outfits and he's like, going undercover a little bit earlier than we thought.
Right.
Tries to put it. Yeah. So, we're the stormtroopers, and the knocked out metal lady is going to be our Chewbacca.
Excellent. So you wheel through this like eerily, just previously, like as of like 10 minutes ago, operational office. It's just been cleared out, and the lights are still up, and you hear the telltale kind of like drone beeps of drones up ahead that were probably dispatched by the Ares team upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
The spiders, but you have those drone turret systems, so you want to hack those from here?
Sure, dude.
Get fucked. Go ahead and give me a hacking test, please.
Get fucked. So does that just help me know that they were there, or does that give me any bonuses to the hacking roll?
The bonuses is going to be I'm lowering the difficulty on my end.
Okay, gotcha.
Ants in my water.
Ew, dude. 3 successes with no edge. I guess Fritz really wants to die tonight.
Well, luckily with those access codes, you make it. So
Cool.
Yeah, so you just sense like drones offline, offline.
Oh, while he's still wheeling the.
Yeah, you like literally you turn the corner after you like you just hack and deliverance. You see like these 3-track drones, just like their turrets are just facing down and they're not moving.
Nice.
And they're all flanking the set of elevators to go deeper up the building. So you all have some form of access for sure at this point, with either knight errant or I believe it's just knight errant that you have.
Yeah,
We can
Do you
easily
have
grab off these guys.
Yeah. Did you have anything else potentially? I could have sworn you all had
maintenance.
some other.
We had the maintenance codes.
You mean like
Mine was
identification
low
to
level.
get up the elevator? Because they had like a janitor card and like I think like another person who worked on like the 9th floor.
Doctor.
Oh right, the
Yeah.
The
The doctor.
you were able to get up to the Firewatch labs.
Yeah.
Right.
You also have Voltar herself. So
The,
I was
the
gonna say
janitor was
Voltar
only
has
able to
the-
get up to like the 100 or so floor, like
Yeah.
the first series of floors. So that's useless now. But the Firewatch labs you can still access from here.
Yep.
And you don't really know. Well, Voltar's told you, right, that she has
she's
access
definitely
codes.
told,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, once you get Voltar awake, you can probably get to the to Copper's section, Copper Colton section. But
Well,
yeah,
it's all handprint. You can just slap her hand on that.
but like your hand has to actually like have the configuration, because remember like the point of that palm is that it has a bunch of them.
Oh right, because it
Can I-
can like copy it and stuff. Yeah. So if she's
Am I-
out, yeah.
Am I able to manipulate her hand to bring up the configuration?
I would say yes, actually. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Who's hampered?
I mean, either way, we want to get her awake, but I don't know if this has become a new scene yet. To
no, I would say once you get to a new floor.
Okay.
Yeah, so you and you have total access, right? So
yeah.
So hey, thanks for that donation, Palmer. We just got a new stream boss. Get yourself a point of edge. All right, so
Edge.
Best thing
You,
about being unconscious, I'm racking up this edge.
so that's actually a pretty neat idea. You go ahead and flip through a bunch of different handprints that Voltar has collected during her adventures.
You
and you
see.
find
Pixel Dix. I have them all written down. So
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Right.
Pixel
Yeah,
Dix, the Mafia Kid. Gage, her weapons dealer. Mr. Sugar, a drug lord. Abe, Deliverance's husband. Colton Copper, her father, and Felix Gray, her old
You
friend.
mean Senor Azúcar?
Yeah. I'm not gonna write that down on the
dreamy.
spot. I'm not good with spelling. Come on.
Oh, Senora Azúcar. Making her panties drop.
Literally, yes.
Yes. All right. So you flip through all of these different files and you see
That was such a good episode.
That was so fun.
yeah.
Highly
All right.
recommend if no one's seen
So
it.
you hold up the hand, biometric scan, and the elevators instantly just like ping after they arrive, and you're
Yep.
able to just like do the handprint one more time inside of the elevator, and you want to go straight to floor 308.
No, we wanted to go to the Firewatch Labs first.
We already went there, didn't we?
No, you didn't.
No.
Oh.
Firewatch Labs are where Minerva is.
Right.
So, Firewatch Labs first.
All right, cool. Firewatch. So actually, you don't even need Voltar's hand for that, if that's the case, because you still have the Firewatch. You have the Firewatch lab workers badge. So you can just
Sure.
swipe that.
Let's do it.
But
Either way, I mean, we're getting there.
yeah,
Yeah, you realize. So we'll go ahead and retcon that because, like, chances are you don't want to like ping that
Yeah.
Voltar is using access code.
That's
or that
true, that's
Copper
true.
Colton is
Yeah.
here, and then
Yeah.
yeah. So
yeah. Well,
swipe. All right, and you take the elevator up to. Hold on, let's see.
That's it.
Because I love my elevator music.
yeah.
Yeah, roleplay they had good elevator music. I don't know.
So I
This
just want
is
to
good
set the
music
scene
elevator.
here
Yeah.
that we've got Voltar on an office chair, handcuffed to an office chair. Deliverance is bloody, has a dead arm strapped to her waist. Half her hair is burned off, and she's wearing someone else's ill-fitting robe. And Fritz, I think he's kind of looking
Fritz is
okay.
fine.
Fritz is
Yeah,
just like,
Fritz is doing just fine.
Yeah, Fritz just has his hands in his pockets.
Oh, the
we've got like these like fluorescent lights and this great music.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's a glass elevator as well that overlooks Detroit, and the sun is actually starting to come up. You just see it like in the distance. It's starting to become a new dawn. So it's just got like this. It's twilight.
I'm going to first of all check the elevator for any surveillance whatsoever.
Of course, there's a camera. Come on, go
Yeah.
ahead and hack it.
All right. Oh my god. Oh jeez.
Oh, I'm spending a point of edge on that.
5 successes.
Okay, are you comfortable with that?
Gonna have to be.
Okay. When you so you try to hack this camera, and something was weird about it. Like it just sort of like it glitched, and then it shuts off. You're not really. That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
but it appears to be off.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull the Ares Predator from my friend's unconscious body and shoot the camera.
Boof. All right, great. So the thing explodes.
All right. And then
God!
he sticks it back.
really
Yeah, he
loud.
sticks
Yeah,
it back in the
Just
the holster.
rings inside of the elevator. The sound of the bullet.
Yeah, Fritz takes off his noise canceling helmet and he's like, "Huh? Sorry,
What?
sorry."
Ugh.
I'm going to turn off all of our comm links.
All right.
And yeah, but he takes off his helmet and then he puts it on Voltar's lap because she's the table now, I guess.
on the table.
Yeah, she's unconscious. And he crosses his arms and kind of leans up against the side of the elevator, watching it move up past Detroit outside.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit outside looks so small, and especially from the 200 and set. Like you're on a, as you're going all the way up, going up, and you see these numbers, these 3-digit numbers just rising, going past 200, 220, and you're just like, man. And you can actually see the distance. You can see the Great Lakes. You can see like all of the Detroit metroplex. Plus, like, maybe even Chicago, like, in the very, very far distance.
Just see a green haze.
Yeah.
And finally, you reach, the numbers start slowing down, the elevator starts slowing down.
As we're going up, he, still looking out the glass, says, "We will never be able to get inside of this building again."
Well, how many people are going to be inside this building anyway once we're finished?
What I'm saying is that this is our one chance to do anything of value against this corporation.
I feel like you're leading me somewhere. What do you have in mind, Fritz?
Well, we have done what seems to be unthinkable to most people for one of the smallest of reasons. We came here to get leverage on one tiny cog in the machine, an insignificant little speck in the entire wide scope of this company. And we are in the Ares World headquarters.
So you're saying we need to take the opportunity that we've seized here, and Deliverance gets a gleam in her eye, and give them what they've been giving us all our lives.
Yeah. This is our one chance to gut these people. I can't leave here without tearing this entire place down.
Oh. Well, you know what they say. Vengeance is the Lord's. But you know, what they also say is, Lord, let me be your arm extended.
This isn't vengeance, it's justice.
Floor 275, Firewatch Labs. Ding.
Yeah, the helmet goes back on before it opens.
The let's go. Actually, no. The doors open into an. Let's see. Do you like this song? Yeah. I want to make sure I got the right song for this.
Just put a corpse at each support beam.
Yeah. Just piles of corpses on the bottom.
Oh god.
We'll go with this one.
Apparently you're very quiet, Oz.
Oh.
Really?
I hear you fine.
Yeah, I hear you
Yeah.
just me too.
Palmer is saying on stream you're very quiet.
Huh.
Turn up your volume, Palmer.
Maybe Ziggy needs to get some better ears.
Well, I was also muttering, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
Here,
Alright.
I'll go ahead and I'll adjust it just a teensy bit. Okay, there. That should be slightly better. So the Firewatch Labs. The elevator doors open, and you're greeted by this just totally blank walls, totally blank floor. Like this is, and just gloss. Like glossy floor, glossy walls. The ceilings are high here. This is very clearly takes up multiple floors. It's not just the 275th floor. The place is lit strictly by these like neon, not sickly, but like these kind of like neon-y green, like this beer can, like this kind of color of green.
Very
that's
sickly.
just like, yeah, that's coming from the grounds, like alongside the walls, and like this lighting is reflecting up on the walls and then just fading up into shadow on the ceiling where you can't see anything.
Oh god, this is scary.
And you're greeted by the Firewatch, like just basically Firewatch, like the official font and logo of this team in like this, you know, silvery font thing that's just like extended out from the, it's like a, you know, it's like a statement piece
Raised
on the wall. And as you step out, you can hear every single one of your footsteps just tap on the floor and sort of slightly echo in the halls. It doesn't appear like anyone is around, at least not in this area. As you go deeper into this space, you see that you can go to it opens up to your left and to your right, and you can see on either ends like windows out into Detroit. Like the whole thing just takes up the labs take up the whole floor. So like to your left and to your right, you can see different angles of Detroit. Yeah.
All right. Is there any, like, do we see any equipment, any obvious like sections?
The only thing that would be there,
this is a lab, this is,
yeah, the only thing that would be there right now would be a secretary's desk, like one of those semicircular, and it's this huge semicircular one. But there are no secretaries currently.
Is their equipment still there?
No. They have their terminals and stuff. The secretary terminals are there, sure. So yeah, you're free to access them.
Sure.
But I'll spend a plot point for this. As you start hearing some footsteps coming down the halls to your left and your right. Like there's probably guard rotations happening. But it seems like there's nobody really manning this station here.
Gotcha.
all right. I'm gonna start, I assume this is a new scene, by healing Voltar.
Where do you want to do that? You're basically just wide out in the open.
Let's get behind this desk.
Okay. So you all drag yourselves back. So you drag, or rather you roll Voltar down the, and it's just, it's kind of, it's very obvious, like this sound, like as you just wheel her towards this desk, and you're starting to like, yeah, you're worried that if you go any deeper, like you're going to alert the guards, because if you can hear them, they can probably hear you.
Yeah, they definitely heard that. But she's the sneakiest, so we better get her up.
I'm going to Matrix, try and look into the Matrix and see if I can see the guards and like their peripherals.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and give me that Matrix Percept.
Right.
And
Can I roll my heal first?
Yes, you
That's
can.
cool.
Yeah, you can lay a hand down on Voltar, because you're just like getting desperate. You're like, I need you feel like you could probably pump something back into, bring some life back into Voltar. So
Voltar, what's the penalty with your essence drain? Essence
Oh
loss?
boy, it's -3.
I get 3.
4
I'm a
successes.
metal boy.
Ooh, 2.
2 stun them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna edge that because, yike.
Yeah, my -3 is terrible.
Okay, well, 3.
That's better.
All right. So Voltar, your eyes suddenly like kind of your cyber eyes go back online. They like kind of glitch in your vision, and you find yourself in this space that I've described, with Deliverance leaning over you and dressed in that trench coat, and Fritz looking like Knight Errant as well. And you find all and you have like this other armor suit on top of you.
Yeah, I think immediately Voltar tries like standing and she's cuffed to the chair. So she,
Oh, sorry. Oh,
she
sorry.
just looks confused.
Hold
What
on.
is going on?
Fritz, you see the it takes you a little time, but finally you're able to like bink bink, and you see these like 2 arrows in your field of vision that they're just doing like a rotation around the building. So like one was coming this way and then one was coming the other way, right? So you're kind of gauging that maybe there's like a circle around the building that faces outward into the city. But they look like they're both making their way to the center, to the desk.
Gotcha.
Probably because they are hearing that somebody has arrived.
Yeah. Fritz will subvocal and say, "This is our only cover. They already know that you're AWOL, so you being handcuffed and the Knight Errant having gotten the better of you is the only thing we have right now. We have people approaching right now."
Do you want me to be unconscious again?
I think it would be hard to believe that you would let yourself be in cuffs, so probably.
Powering down.
Right.
And her head just drops.
That's all you gotta
Yeah,
say.
he tries to get Deliverance to like bring the chair out from behind the desk because it's like now we're trying to wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deliverance, she's gonna strap on the mask. And then wheel it out.
Oh god. So they're both these 2 arrows are approaching at the same speed. They'll arrive at the exact same time.
Yeah, they're gonna turn the corner.
Okay. Am I able to access any of the peripherals on either of them? Am I able to see like if they have to see the guns that they have?
Yeah, you
That's
could
up
do
for
that.
guards. They
I could
just
do
be
that?
Doctors.
Yeah.
I mean,
they
it's
would
in areas
have-
of Floyd, they all have guns.
Yeah,
That's
they would
true.
have Ares Predators.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just Ares Predators?
Just Ares Predators.
Okay.
And their employees.
I'm going to try to, as quick as I can, disable those.
Okay, go ahead and hack them.
Okay. And I'm going to I'm going to pre-edge
Okay.
because, yikes. Oh god. I'm scared. I'm so startled.
Oh my god, what is that from?
It's South Park.
Yeah.
They're making fun of
Paranormal
the
activity.
found footage movie.
Yeah.
6 successes on disabling both of them,
All
or
right.
just one.
No, yeah. No. We'll say I made it for both, so like boop, boop.
Okay.
Yeah, you see them just shut off.
Yeah.
And they turn the corner and you see it's 2 you would describe them as security. They're not like heavy security and they're not rent-a-cops. They're somewhere in the middle.
Right.
And they turn the corner. But they don't even really turn the corner. Like they just kind of like they peer in and they see you all approaching, and then they go, what's going on? Can we help you?
As they're speaking,
Officers?
I'm subvocaling Deliverance again. Like as they're speaking, just quickly saying, our orders are to get her to Minerva. Yeah, and then the he turns, since he has the visor and she looks important, he just kind of like has his arms crossed and looks at them.
Our orders are to get this one to Minerva. Can you point us in the right direction?
Sure. 1 second. Can I see your identification, please?
Okay. I'm gonna splend a pot point to say that,
A pot point, yeah.
that I grabbed
420 plot points.
Thistle?
Yeah.
Ooh, thistles. I grabbed her ID.
Okay.
And it doesn't have a face.
Establish that. And I mean, like, I feel like I've got enough of the,
Yeah.
we would look similar enough that with casual, it would pass.
Right.
Maybe.
You're also battle worn. Like,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
obviously the only 2 soldiers left after the fucking
Yeah.
After the
murder
cyber
spree
soldier
that happened.
went insane
Yeah.
with her
So,
team,
so he looks at your badge and looks up at you and says, and looks over at, well, Fritz, you're dressed like immaculately, right?
9.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They look over at this individual, Voltar, in the chair, and says, okay, everything checks out. So, and you look like you got a little beat up there.
Yeah, we had to deal with the infiltrators, but fortunately we're able to subdue the others and bring this one up to where she belongs.
All right. Sure. You know what? Give me 1 second. So, like, the one rent-a-cop continues his, seeing that everything seems fine, continues his patrol. The other goes around the desk, hits the little intercom button, and says, or rather calls, right, and says, yes, what was Minerva's last name? Shit.
I don't know. She got remarried.
Yeah, Ms. Vogel. Wasn't she?
Vogel?
was
Oh, that's right. Arthur
That sounds
Vogel.
right.
Yes. Ms.
Minerva.
Vogel. I have some knight errant. I have a knight errant detective here, Becky, who has a captive. Seems for you, and he kind of like listens in on the line and says, "Uh-huh."
Oh shit.
Could I have tried to because wait, so he called on the thing that I already hacked into earlier, right? On like the secretary desk next to us? Did you just say
I thought
he
you
used that?
He hacked into
You hacked their
well,
guns?
you hacked into their guns. You did
I
hack
hacked into their guns, but I
You
was
also
looking at
hacked
the
into the-
computers before we
Yes,
heard
yes,
them.
yes. Yeah. So you.
Can I spend a plot point to say that I have access to the because I was already doing it?
Sure. Let's say
Okay, cool.
Let's say yes.
All right.
I have a backup plan if you're.
Well, I am able to hear what the conversation is. So
Oh, you're hearing it.
So-
Okay,
Hearing
awesome.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
so the conversation.
I'm not sure I know a Becky, and I wasn't expecting anyone. Can you ask for more information? Or maybe they just have the wrong person.
And it's, I don't know. It looks like they're definitely on official business. Excuse me, Miss Becky. What's your what is this about exactly?
we have direct orders from Mr.
So-
Colton to bring this captive to Director of Firewatch.
Tell her it involves Victor.
It says So this says it said this is direct orders from Copper Colton. It says it's something to do with Victor.
Go ahead and let them through, please.
And all right, yes, ma'am. And says, all right, you can go on ahead. And gives you directions to Minerva Colton's, Minerva Vogel's office.
Using your
Nicely played.
dead son.
Okay. So
So yeah, so you go down the hall where the other security guard was already starting to do his patrol, and you kind of just go around this building alongside windows that are there. Again, they're very clearly mirrored from the other side one way, so that nobody can actually see into them, but they can see out. And you finally access. You finally come to Minerva Vogel. Like, you see this door with this nameplate in AR. Minerva Vogel, director of Firewatch Labs.
She's gonna sub-vocal to Voltar. What's our play here?
You brought me up here. The only thing I can think of is to get information. She must know something on Colton. After all,
Alright.
she did marry him for over years.
Well, I think you're probably gonna have to be the one to talk to her.
I will once I'm inside. If
Okay,
I
so
can.
sorry I used your
The door
former
opens.
we'll talk later. Okay.
It literally, like, the door just, and you see inside of her office. It is this, and chat, feel free to embellish what Minerva Colton's office looks like. Minerva Vogel. Ooh,
Thanks, cool.
thanks. Thanks, cool. Holy shit, that's a lot of bits. Love it. I always get blown away when I see that many bits.
Yeah, so generous.
You, this office is, the stark comparison from the green hallways. It has a, even though it's interior, it has an entire fake wall that's made to look like the outside of Detroit. And it's in sync. It appears to be in sync with the time as well. So, like, it looks like twilight as well. So, like, the sky is just becoming from black to just this lighter blue, darker, like a dark. But this is Detroit, like, immaculate. This is Detroit in a way that you've never seen Detroit. That it doesn't even look like the way that it does outside of the window. It's very clearly like PR Detroit, where everything is just, perfection. Everything is fine. And in addition to that, there's the same kind of glossy floors, and a ooh, thanks. And we've got another point of edge. Thank you, cool.
You are so boss right now.
Cool is a badass. The general vibe of this room, the color scheme is basically like white and silver, and then that Detroit background, and you and probably also some like plants and stuff. Like she seems to have, and they look like real plants too. Like she takes care of like this big array of them.
Can I add something?
Yeah, what's up?
I only have one plot point, but if I have to use it, it's worth it. She has one picture on her desk, and it's a picture of her, not current husband, but Colton, and two little kids that look very similar to each other. One boy, one female.
That would probably be something that you would see if you were to go around her desk, which she wouldn't actually let
But,
you.
I mean, obviously,
The camera pans,
the camera pans there.
The camera is like this shot, right? From desk level shot, looking at this frame, sort of hazily, but enough where you could surmise what it is, and seeing the three of you enter. And Minerva, you come face to face with Minerva, who is, let me see, let me get her description. I remember she was a red hair, strong cheekbones. Her hair's starting to gray, it's weathered. She carries herself well. She has a cyber arm. She's wearing Mortimer of London and dress, and she's got gloves on. And she sets down a coffee mug and looks at Voltar's body, and she click-clacks her heels over, like just amazed and in almost disbelief, and she gets down like on her knees and just like touches your face, and you all hear her kind of just whisper to herself, "What have they done to you? What did he do to you?" And that's where we're going to take our break.
Break.
So, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Stay tuned for the next section of Join the Anarchy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. We finally know. Okay. Plot is going to happen. All right, everyone, stay tuned.
Much plot.
Very. Hello everybody and welcome back to Join the Anarchy, the interactive and improvised Shadowrun Anarchy actual play here on the Shadowcasters Network. And tonight, answers. So, you have just walked into Minerva Vogel's office, formerly Minerva Colton, Voltar's mother. And she has approached Voltar, touched her face and whispered, "What did they do to you? What did he do to you, rather?"
Fritz is going to wirelessly deactivate the handcuffs and then start disabling the security in the room.
Yeah. Thank you, Coop, for that sub. That's 20 months straight.
Thank you, Coop. My God.
Yeah. It's crazy. Thank you. So you're disabling the security in the room? Is what you
Yeah,
said?
like any cameras, if any of those turrets are in here.
No, she wouldn't have turrets in her office.
Not even like ceiling activated ones, so she could, like next to her desk, so she could be like, "You're fired," and then press the button and it obliterates
Get out.
whoever's at the door.
Clear your desk.
There's no X.
A little to the left. Hands,
Yeah.
legs.
No, I would say
Just cameras.
no, I don't think so. I mean, the floor is pretty secure as is. I don't think she would feel
Yeah.
the need to have turrets in her office.
Sounds good.
There's probably turrets in the hallway.
That's fine. I can deal with those later. Just right now, cameras.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she would have cameras in her office either.
No?
No, she's a
So-
director.
No surveillance. Everything's all good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
Cool,
got she's got total privacy.
And the door closes and locks.
It's like we're
You're
gonna
locked
beat
in
her
here
up.
with us.
Jesus.
What
No Shark Tank. Thanks, Nick.
so she looks up and at both of you, Fritz and Deliverance, thinking that you're knight errant officers.
Mhm.
One officer, one a detective, and says, why is she in this condition? What happened to her? Him, her.
Yeah, he leans down and like after he wirelessly deactivated the handcuffs, he just takes them and like nonchalantly puts them on his belt and says, she can answer that for herself.
Yeah, and that's when Voltar kind of, her head goes up and she powers back on.
She looks into your eyes, and she is, yeah, she doesn't. It's surreal, right? Because it's not her son's eyes. There's
Probably
something
not even
about,
the same color.
yeah, no, you're just completely different, and yet somehow she sees, yeah, she just sees like a light about you, like she recognizes you in some way, and you just see her kind of like fight back emotions, and she goes, she just wordlessly just grabs and hugs you.
Voltar is kind of shocked, and she takes a moment, not really knowing what a hug is, and kind of hugs her back and pats her on the back.
She stands and says, please come inside.
Yeah, Voltar stands and walks in further.
Tell me, oh Jesus Christ, those resubs are loud. But thank you though to Eric DeMage, 21, breaking that moment. But thank you very much. Woo! I think it's worth breaking. 21,
showing up, Coop.
Yeah, 21 months. So she stands, goes back to her desk, grabs her coffee mug, and she just kind of like, she doesn't even really want to sit. She just kind of like leans up against the desk, like bracing herself. And no need to apologize. You subbed for 21 months. Woo!
Joke.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it's so loud. I could have sworn I turned off all those volumes. Anyway, and she sips her. She tries to sip her coffee, but she's just like trembling.
Mm.
And she just sets it down, and she goes, just honestly, tell me anything. I haven't seen you since, well,
I am... If I would be able to tell you anything, I am surprised that you recognize me.
it's very faint, but a parent always recognizes their children.
I only learned about you yesterday.
Of course you did.
But I do remember one part. It was a haze, but we were near water. I was young. You were in a hat and sundress. It was nice. But every single time I think about it, I don't see your face.
That was up at Lake Erie.
I remember swimming and falling off a drop in the water. I nearly drowned, but you pulled me out.
was very scared that day. How aware is Copper that you're alive?
Very aware.
For how long?
Over since I can remember when I woke up, which was years ago.
She grabs her coffee mug and she just flings it across the room and it shatters just like that. Of course. Of course.
I went under multiple surgeries and don't remember any of them because I kept getting new parts. I don't even remember the first part, though I do remember my legs. It hurt.
What do you said you only remember flashes. Do you remember anything at all prior? Anything?
Only what I have been told.
Uh-huh. So, she looks at the knight-errant officers that are flanking her and says, so, what is this about exactly? I don't know if, I should be having, should continue having this family reunion.
These are my friends. This is Deliverance and Fritz. They are the closest thing to a family that I have. We
What?
like to do jobs in the shadows. She tries winking.
Well, I would hope not against me.
Ma'am, we're here because all of us have been wronged by your ex-husband in one way or another. I suppose we're putting our trust in you, that you might have some way you could help us.
You want information. And she just glides over to like this stand where her coffee maker is, and she just pulls out a replacement coffee mug and starts
Just
making it.
dispenses
Starts
it.
brewing. Yeah, starts brewing herself a new coffee. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he's actually gonna wait to see what Minerva's gonna say.
Yes, of course it's a Sergeant Brewmaster. Thank you, Palmer.
Yeah. He's like, God, muted.
Yeah. Not now.
Not in the mood.
And says, Colton was obsessed with finding you and your sister. And it was... I suppose we had two different ways of mourning. I guess I had come to an acceptance, obviously rather prematurely. But he didn't. And it was unbearable to be around. And we have to give credit where credit's due. He found you, and I stopped looking.
According to my father, I wasn't completely there. He told me I was practically insane and raving.
With as long as you were in Chicago during the entire incident, I'm not surprised. Nobody really comes out of the heart of Chicago like that, all there. But you seem to not have any recollection of that time?
Only flashes, but nothing.
Her coffee finishes dispensing.
Chucks it at the wall again.
Another!
And she clacks over to her terminal. Her desk, rather, and she pulls out a tablet, and this is like a little trid tablet. She starts scanning some files and says, "Have you ever heard of PAB? P-A-B?"
No.
It's a technology that we were developing, and back when I used to work in the biotech labs with your father, Programmable Assist Biofeedback is what it stands for. And assist is the interface technology that we connect to the Matrix with, the artificial sensory inductions systems technology. Fritz, you're absolutely super familiar with that as a Matrix individual. Like that was basically like, that's technology that founded the Matrix in the first place in the Sixth World.
Have you ever heard of Windows?
Yeah, basically, right? I'm just letting you know that as players.
Travis had no fucking clue.
Yeah, you would all know. Yeah, you would all know what assist is. Actually, now that I think about it, but like, I singled Fritz out because he's the computer nerd.
I'm the computer man.
Nerd.
Programmable Assist Biofeedback was, and to put it shortly, it was to implant or remove memories. It was originally developed to have false identities and personalities for deep cover operatives, as well as to just... We saw so many applications, such as dealing with criminals. And she looks at you and she kind of hesitates and says mental illness, deviant behaviors, and with enough time, the PAB unit and direct neural interface and some chemical usage. There's a step-by-step process. It's extremely time-consuming, but it can basically reprogram an individual entirely. I think he may have used that technology on you.
He wants to do it again. He told me.
Why?
I am infiltrating Ares headquarters for information. Why wouldn't he? He told me to stay away from my friends and not make relationships, which I have.
I am so sorry that I wasn't there for you.
Deliverance hides her face and wipes away a tear.
If it means anything, I kept asking. Once I have discovered that you need a mother and a father to make a child, I kept asking.
Well, my second marriage didn't exactly go very swimmingly either, so if that's any consolation. You must hate me in some way.
I don't. You weren't the one that was sticking needles in me and changed my gender without my consent. You did what every mother would have done and moved on. No one wants to remember a child that was taken from them, not in a direct way.
So you're infiltrating the headquarters.
For information on Colton.
Yes.
Leverage.
Leverage.
He wants us to go back to Chicago to kill a queen. He blackmailed my friends. They are special.
If I may. Copper Colton, 9 years after the incident in Chicago, rebuilt your son as the perfect infiltratory weapon. I don't know if infiltratory is a word, but it is now.
Now it is.
He's German, it's okay.
Yeah.
You have a PhD in making up words.
He created the perfect weapon for infiltration and assigned Voltar to make connections with expendable assets in order to undergo an operation to destroy a bug queen inside of Chicago. He has very dangerous leverage against both of us, and obviously is in almost complete control over Voltar's fate as well.
So he never contacted Firewatch. Of course not. He didn't want it to get around to me. We're practically experts in and the bug menace, and of course, why wouldn't he want us to take care of it? And she sips from her coffee, and like an idea comes to her, and I'll spend a plot point for that. And she says, I remember, how could I forget, on one of my very last days before I asked Colton for a divorce, he had been rambling that he had some kind of footage. He showed me this footage. It was so blurry. He claims it was Victoria. But it wasn't Victoria anymore. Oh, God.
Was it footage from Chicago or here?
From Chicago, from one of our Firewatch units. I have to admit, one of my ulterior motives of joining Firewatch was to follow up on any leads about it, but the rumors were unsubstantiated. I don't know exactly what, as far as we could find, but I don't know what he was building on his side. And I think maybe some small part of me just didn't want to believe that Victoria became one of those things. I'm worried that I wanted so hard to pretend it wasn't true. I feel like I was so blind.
You wouldn't have been able to do much. Even if you sent a team in there, he probably would have done what he did to me, to her, trying to salvage the last bit of his kin.
Minerva, may I ask you, when did he show you this footage?
Years ago.
Years ago.
A few years ago.
Perhaps that was part of what he wanted us to do, was to extract her.
Possibly.
You said he wanted you to kill a queen.
That was half of the information. He would have told us more if we accepted.
He would never
No, he
want you to
wouldn't.
kill it. I think of course. He doesn't want you to kill the insect queen. That's just what he told you. He wants you to rescue it. That's why he needed a team that you could trust, that would do anything for you.
For what purpose?
To save his daughter.
Fritz, you see your own daughter playing hide and seek behind the desk. And she just disappears. He's insane. He probably wants... He has the lab access. He could... If... During all of this chaos in the building, all of these people being fired, the building is emptier, it would be potentially easier to have cargo shipped up to the labs and with less notice. And with PAB, with time, and with the right facilities, I suppose it would be theoretically possible, but it's madness. We're not even certain they have an intellect that you can do that to.
So, but more than likely, in the end, we would have unleashed a bug spirit on Detroit.
I don't know about that. Looking at his track record, eyes Voltar, and she goes, I don't think that until it's molded exactly as he wants, it would go anywhere.
My sister would end up just like me if it was possible.
Voltar, you suddenly, plot point, you suddenly get this flashback of Victoria. And your sister depending on you for protection in Chicago, and it's hazy, but there's gunfire and the tearing apart of body parts, and your sister suddenly screaming and getting dragged off into the darkness, you chasing after her, and then just these very quick flashes of these horrifying images of oversized bug parts and drool and people inside of these sacks, these egg sacks, affixed to walls, and your sister being one of them, and something inside of you just awakens. You suddenly feel a hint of human madness. What your father tried so hard to suppress.
I don't even know how Volta would take that. I would imagine she would just kind of be very taken aback and go more blank than usual, and kind of make weird gestures with her head, trying to shake this thought, this memory. Or her hands start shaking.
Deliverance sees her distress and kneels by the chair and grabs her hand. It's all right. You're here now.
There were bugs everywhere.
Can you give me a composure test?
Yeah.
It's willpower
What
plus
is
willpower.
that? I'm not good with willpower. Can it be agility plus agility?
No.
1. I'm gonna re-roll this. 1.
The trauma, and you just honestly, like, the flashback becomes so vivid and real, and it's not even like the images make any sense to you, but it's just the terror is so
Yeah, that
real.
feeling.
The screaming that is building up inside of your throat is so real.
Yeah, Voltar starts hyperventilating, and she squeezes Deliverance's hand, and her other hand starts like rubbing her arm, almost like trying to scratch, trying to like peel something off. Yeah, there's just behind the hyperventilating, it's just a panicked tone, something that you've never heard from Voltar.
And Deliverance leans her forehead on Voltar's temple and just grips her hand and whispers in her ear, "You are strong, and you're here with us. You're safe. It's okay. You don't have to be afraid. It's okay."
Or everywhere.
I know. They're not here now. You're with us.
I left her there.
No. You were taken away. It is not your fault.
You remember running. You remember running for your life.
I just ran.
They're all behind you.
They just kept coming.
Stay
There
with
were
me,
bodies
Voltar.
on the walls.
There's so many.
Stay with me. I know.
It was so dark.
You're going to die.
I thought I was gonna die there.
You didn't. You're here. You're here.
I lost her in there. There's so much blood.
Fritz, you, upon her saying there's so much blood, your own daughter on a surgery table is a vision that you get, and the scalpel in your hand. I need you to make a composure test as well.
Okay.
We're all gonna be fucking batshit insane in this room.
Composure was what?
Willpower plus willpower.
It's a good thing blood doesn't affect me at all.
Trigger all the
5.
5. You grip your hand and tightly, and the scalpel just sort of dissipates in pixels. You know that your daughter's image is this fleeting, strange memory, and it just sits there in the room besides you while Voltar is recounting this tale. Minerva, You need. Minerva says, looks at you straight and says, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I'm so sorry we left. You need to stop him. I can't honestly believe that what he thinks will work. Part of me just doesn't want it to. I moved on, you know?
Minerva, is what he's doing, is it a solution to the crisis in Chicago?
No. One queen
Not enough.
remade? No. He wants to rescue his kids. Our kids.
Wouldn't we all?
Fritz, on Deliverance, saying that you hear a flat line just very faintly echo in your ears. Minerva says, I think we'll go to extreme lengths. Any parent would for their children. But when do you say enough and let go? I wish I had done more for Colton. But he rescued you in some strange, perverse way.
I don't even remember my birthday. I should have stayed in Chicago. I am not Victor anymore. I am Voltar, an Ares cyber soldier that is just so obedient. His prized possession.
I don't see that. I see a very powerful, smart survivor that can do whatever she wants. You are not his toy. You are not his soldier. And you're certainly not his son. I'm happy that you made it out in some way. I'm happy that some part of Victor is alive and is in you but we both need to move on from our past. I would have done anything for you. You have to believe me. And what I can do for you is tell you, be someone you can be proud of.
I am proud that I did what I did and stood up for myself against him. I am happy to know that you exist. I believe that you did everything.
She kind of grimaces and she avoids your gaze entirely and just stares into her coffee cup. And Deliverance and Fritz, you know exactly what that is like, and she does not believe that it's true.
I'm sorry. Can I get a quick recap of what she does not believe is true?
That she
I was saying goodnight to my own child.
Sure, no. That Voltar did everything that she could. Or sorry, that she did everything. Minerva did everything she could for Voltar.
Voltar does not believe this.
No,
Minerva
does not
doesn't
feel it.
believe it in herself.
Got it.
Now you recognize that look.
Mm-hmm.
Given.
Mm-hmm. I would say that it seems the two of you have one thing very much in common. You're blaming yourselves for things that are not your fault. And lie pretty squarely on the shoulders of Copper Colton. Now we all have our opinions about him, but he's the reason we're here today, Minerva, and I think it's time we deal with the problem at hand.
Me choosing to leave was my choice. And to ignore that there is a possibility of them being alive, that was my choice. So I can't take all the blame, but, or rather, I can't lay all the blame on Copper, but I believe Voltar
and
certainly could.
Deliverance flashes back to the last time that she saw Amy and Sophia and Reggie. It was just a regular night. They had supper, and Amy was quiet and sullen about something, and Sophia was chattering away, and Reggie was off in his own little daydream land.
Climbing stuff.
And she knew it was the last time, and they didn't. And the last thing that Amy said to her was, "Good night, Mom," and slammed the door, and she says to Minerva, "Well, sometimes leaving is the only option."
Doing something is another option. If we find information that Colton is doing something, even if it's not this or anything else, we can put him behind bars. It's better than me doing something. I love my father, but now I don't know if it was programmed that way.
I'm afraid I can't help any more in this. But, it certainly proved enlightening. Are you being paid for this?
No.
Well, that doesn't really seem befitting of Shadowrunners, does it?
We came here on our own volition.
I will pay you each 12 karma if you can. 12 karma if you could. If you stop him. I don't care if it's just convincing him. Or if it has to be something more permanent. But we need to bury that past. We're not. This is. That would. It would require evidence to put him behind bars. Evidence that only he has. This is all circumstantial. All surmised. I can guarantee that's what he's behind.
Do you have any connections, feelings towards my father?
I buried those with your memories. So
You may want to save your money.
Why do you say that?
Because this thing that Ares macro technology is doing to Detroit is going to end before we leave this building. Copper Colton is a cancer on all of our lives, but Ares is a cancer on the UCAS.
On that, I can agree.
People are dying, and we need to find a way to stop all evils.
You agree?
I'm not at liberty to discuss, but there are forces at play within the same very walls of this headquarters that are threatening to tear apart Firewatch.
What forces?
Infiltrated bugs.
Like
What does that mean?
We believe that there are agents within Ares headquarters that are bug spirits that have been taken over by them, possessed. Flesh forms. As an aside, I always forget if it's flesh form or true form for humans. like human shaped, like perfect ones. I forget if it's flesh or true, but because there's like, you could also have like just bugs, or you could have like this weird half deformed version. But yeah, anyway, back to scene. You know, my second husband, Arthur Vogel, he had called an emergency meeting just moments before his death. He died within the explosions that took out various floors of the headquarters buildings. And you would all remember this back in 2079, so just like a year ago, there was like this explosion that like people like all over Detroit could see. Anybody that had the vision of that could see the headquarters from some of the very top floors. It happened to be a clear day that day, and yeah, you could see it. It was very hazy because it was 400 stories up, but yeah, it was just raining debris. Luckily, the building was able to contain. It's properly built to withstand explosions and attacks of that nature.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Several floors were blew up.
Huh. Interesting.
And she goes, he's presumed dead.
You didn't, or they didn't find him?
No. Arthur's a smart man.
You use present tense.
You don't believe he's dead, do you?
Well, you know he isn't.
Regardless, even if he is dead, or if he's alive, things are happening.
You think there's a connection between him and these flesh forms?
I do. He was a target. And Damian Knight, the CEO, he hasn't made a public appearance in years. I tell you all of this in confidence. But something is happening. Something bad. Detroit is not coming out of this alive. Ares will move to Atlanta. Detroit will be a husk of its former self. There is no stopping it.
Why hide this? Millions of people could be hurt if these flesh forms take over Detroit.
The mass panic that would ensue. And again, there's no evidence. It's just boardroom meeting after boardroom meeting of executive decisions being passed that make no understandable sense, but they're targeting Firewatch. They're targeting me.
Does that mean you'll end up like your late husband.
I hope not. I'm laying low. Until they fire me.
In your office?
I'm playing along. That's what we do here. We follow orders. It's the Ares way.
And ask no questions.
Well, I do have a question. And that is whether or not Firewatch has been developing anything recently that could help put an end to at least this section of Ares, because the world headquarters is a large amount of power for a corporation.
All of that is classified. This isn't your fight. I just want to let you know. Make plans to leave Detroit.
Where will you go?
She shrugs. I'm still figuring that out. Things can play out in so many ways. Stop, Copper Colton. And if it comes down to it, if you somehow find yourself in Chicago, put an end to Victoria's misery.
Deliverance watches Voltar for her reaction.
I was planning on it. I suggest you do something. I will not forgive myself if I see that your section was blown up mysteriously. I will handle Colton. We have a way of getting up to him.
If anything does happen to me, you'll at least have the memory of Lake Erie.
Even if it's just a haze. Yes.
You're a new person. All memories are hazy, aren't they?
Most of them.
Stop sowing mayhem, Palmer.
Now, if you'll excuse me. Thanks for that cheer, Super Sage. And if you'll excuse me, I think we both have work to do.
Es tut mir leid, I cannot leave this building without... There's... hundreds of thousands of people are going to suffer. There are 3 people with the power to do something with your information, your help, and you're doing nothing.
You don't know what's going on behind closed doors, and it's probably best that you don't.
Because
not...
you refuse to be of assistance.
You have a part to play in this now, and it is not this one. If you ever meet an Anne Ravenheart, tell her Minerva Vogel sent you.
What is an Anne Raven?
Anne Ravenheart is the captain of Firewatch Team 2.
Where might we find her?
Chicago.
Do they have a base there?
No.
I will keep that in mind if we or I decide to go there.
And Fritz, trust me, I understand your frustration. But if this play that you have in mind goes wrong, I don't want to be implicated. I have my own sources. I'm the director of Firewatch. We're fine. We're operating on the need-to-know basis, and you do not need to know.
You are fine. Everyone who has clearance to the high levels of a building in the middle of a dying city is just fine. The people who aren't fine are the ones who have done nothing wrong and are being called in the streets due to the incompetence and uncaring nature of a bunch of Schweinhunds who play God in cities that do not want them! None of this is my fight, Miss Vogel. This isn't even my country! But I still have something beating inside of me that will not allow me to let all of these people be subjected to your plan. If you would like to withhold information that could save everyone, that is your decision, but you are not changing my directive because I am done taking orders from Ares executives.
Thank you for stopping at my office. You can all leave now.
Voltar will stand, wait for her team to leave, then hug her mother one last time. She tells her that she loves her and walks out, making sure both of her teammates are with her.
Deliverance will turn. She looks at the stare off between Fritz and Minerva, turns on her heel, and walks out.
Yeah, Minerva doesn't even hug Voltar back. She's just like... She's in, like,
Defense
executive mode.
Yeah. Boss
Badass
bitch
business
mode.
bitch.
Fritz exits the office. And when the door closes behind them, he turns and looks at both of you and says, I'm going to do some good for this fucking place if it kills me.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
I was gonna add something, but it's okay.
I don't know. I like ending it on that line.
No, that's a good ending.
Oh man, that was intense.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Excellent way to return full to form. Nice work, everybody.
Wow.
Oh man, I've been waiting for you to meet Minerva forever. I love that it went down this way.
Amazing.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for participating and joining us for tonight's live episode. And if you're watching on YouTube on shadowcasters.network/YouTube, wait, no, youtube.com/shadowcastersnetwork. Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
Make sure that you stop in for our next live episode, which is going to be in 2 Mondays, July 22nd. And this time, no hiatus. Right?
No
Everyone's available?
No hiatus.
July
No
22nd.
hiatus. July 22nd. Woo! So you get to continue the what happens next in Ares World headquarters. Oh, and hey, you know what else we need to do? We need to reward our stream boss, Cool TC1.
Hey.
For all them bits. You are the stream boss. Congrats. And actually, now that I remember, Rats, I totally forgot to use his stream boss NPC, so I'll make sure to utilize in the future.
I mean,
Next episode.
kind of just really did one thing, so I can understand why.
That's true.
Yeah, this was kind of like a big thing, and
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
like having this NPC involved, that would be like, yeah.
Be awkward.
But yeah, I'll make sure to keep him around for the next one. And cool. Get in touch with me, and we'll go ahead and make you an NPC. Well, not make you specifically an NPC, but we make an NPC that you want. Wait, put him in. Yeah, we have all your raffle tickets saved for our raffle drawing, which will also be on our next episode, July 22nd, where you can win $25 on Drive-Thru RPG. And, all right, so let's go ahead and do some outros. Let's work right to left. Deliverance.
All right, everybody. You can catch me again here in a couple weeks, and that's kind of the extent of my exciting online life. For now. Although I will say, I'm going to Gen Con and I'm really pumped. I'm really, really excited. So
Hell yeah!
if you awesome folks, you're gonna be there in about 3 weeks. Yeah, hit me up. Let's hang out. Woo!
Yes, absolutely. And I will also be at Gen Con, and
Yay,
I will probably
we're my friends.
I will probably be like keeping Scrim company the whole time while we're there. So yeah, so we're gonna be hanging out. Yeah, we're gonna be hanging out together, take some pictures. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm so pumped.
Yeah, I'm so excited. We're gonna play some games.
Oh my
and say
gosh.
hello to people, and yeah.
I also found out recently that they have like 60,000 people go to Gen Con.
That's a lot.
6 and a 0. It's 6 with 4 zeros.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
I did not
Yeah.
realize that's like the size of a city. That's like a
It's
city.
enormous.
to another
It's
city.
huge. It's
Okay.
not just the convention center. It's like everything around the convention center and like the arena, the sports arena. When I went last year, I don't know if this is a thing that they normally do, but they like the entire floor of this sports arena was board gaming tables.
Oh
Like, you
my
go to a
gosh.
library, grab a board game, and play it on one of these many, many tables.
Oh my
It's-
lord.
It's
I don't even.
it took
it's
me
gonna be
3 or
so
4 days
overwhelming.
to like see everything on the merch floor.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm just gonna
I'm
play
down
as
for all.
many tabletop RPGs as I can get in. All the ones that none of my friends will play with me.
yes,
That's my plan.
that's my plan too. And I want to demo a bunch of new stuff. So anyway, yeah.
Yes,
So Gen
yes.
Con, make sure you stop
Anyway.
out. And also, yeah, speaking of Gen Con, make sure that you go onto the Gen Con website, look up Shadowcasters Network. We have 3 panels going on. We have the big Shadowcasters Network panel, where you're going to meet everybody that works on Shadowcasters. That's at Gen Con. And I'm also going to be doing a panel on creating overlays for Twitch. So you get to see some of my process.
Ooh.
Yeah. So definitely come and check that out. And yeah, I'm going to focus mainly on tabletop RPGs, but I'm also going to be doing video gaming streaming as well, because they have like more simple overlays to make, whereas for us, like we have to be a little more involved. So yeah, that's going to be cool. All right, Voltar.
Shit, that's me. Hello, I'm Paige. I live, I exist, I breathe. I am a normal human. Hi. I play Voltar. I do other things too in real life. I draw for a living. I pen, paper, on things, characters. Contact me. I have Instagram and Twitter, which I'll post after I'm done spieling about this. You can also contact me on Discord. I'm not having any sales right now, so you have to pay full price, bitch. But you know, that's what so I do other games on sometimes ShadowcastersNetwork. I think we're doing Once Upon a Tabletop somewhere down the road.
Yes.
If I just spoiled that, I'm sorry.
No, you did not. It's on our schedule. We're doing it on Tuesday the 23rd. We're going to finally continue our Time Stories game.
Yes. And then I am a wizard on Saturdays at Shattered Isles, where I play Thomas, the wizard, at the original box set.
With
Twitch.
your GMs, Cassie and Max, who watched pee get blown into my mouth.
Yes.
Right, I forgot about that part.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, yeah.
But that's
We're
me.
close friends now.
I mean, how could you not be after that?
I mean, I don't blame you about that experience. That's me. That's what I do. I also do small voice work stuff, though I am more of an artist. In my line, my dream is to become a voice actor, but I love doing art better.
Nice.
I think that's it. I'm Paige.
Sweet. And Trav.
So, dude, my name's Trav. I've been doing content creation since I was 10, though you'll only find records dating back to 2011 because I've made sure to purge everything else. But you can catch me on Twitter, TravvyTravVA, and then everywhere else, like YouTube, I am Mr. TravvyTrav. Mr. TravvyTrav on Twitch as well, the one who sent those two messages. You can give me a follow. I like to stream a lot, especially because everyone was so amazing and funded me to get an entire replacement computer after mine got fritzed. Wasn't funny at the time. It is now because it's all fixed, and in order to celebrate, I am doing an at least 12-hour live stream this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Friday, July 13th. And over on my Twitter, I asked you guys to give me games to play. I also posted my Steam and everything like that. But if you just want to come on by and play games and stuff, I'm gonna be there literally all day long, so you should come hang out. Other than my personal stuff, I am also bad at voice acting, and I am a part of a wonderful audio drama soon to be tabletop called Cybernautica. You can catch that cybernauticapod.com or twitter.com/cybernauticapod. I play Evan, and he is somehow more annoying than me, so you should check it out.
Nice. And I'm Oz. I am your game master. Aside from doing game mastering here, I also do the Sprawl here on the Shadowcasters Network. That's our other cyberpunk tabletop RPG. It's powered by the Apocalypse, and it's just straight cyberpunk, no fantasy elements. And that is on Saturdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Our next episode will actually be on the 20th. We had to skip the one on the 6th because we had a missing player and we played Fiasco instead. So if you missed our Fiasco game, you want to check that out because it's our entire Sprawl cast minus Allie. Yeah, and then I do other things like stuff. Actually, yeah, no, I've cut back down a lot. Oh, I was I voice act Ziggy on Radio Free Detroit, and I featured quite heavily on the Blackout arc between them and Neo Anarchist podcast.
Good,
and,
that is a good arc.
Assets. Yeah,
everyone listen to that.
And
I was also there.
Yeah, I think it's very important that Shadowrun fans listen to that thing because, and especially if you like our Join the Anarchy thing here in Detroit, Detroit does figure into the into that Blackout
yep.
storyline.
Yep.
So you got a glimpse into the future that I have to somehow make sure that we match up to. So anyway, there's our Blackout. What? So yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah. And we also have a bunch of shows here on the Shadowcasters Network. Make sure that you check out all of the tabletop RPG streams that we've got, including Shadowrun 6th Edition. We are playing full rule set that have been unreleased to the public, but we have them, and so we're playing them. Yeah, come check that out. Although those rules will be released at Gen Con, so you have basically a month of preview time still. And we have other... A Sea of Spears, which is the Game of Thrones actual play, and Optiverse. There's 2 of them going on, and actually we're going to be premiering a new Optiverse at the end of the month called Cosmic Corsairs, which, from what I can gather, it's getting like a Guardians of the Galaxy kind of vibe, so I'm very excited about that one. Space Pirates. Yeah, it's going to be great. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and say that is a motherfucking wrap. And let me
awesome,
see.
everyone.
Yeah, no, this was a great, excellent session. Lots of great drama.
Did we do the raffle?
No, that's going to
Next
be
week.
next time.
Oh my god, we're saving 2 raffles and then next raffle?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And yeah, so let's see. Who should we raid? Let's raid Zombie Orpheus. We like them. Zombie Orpheus, they're doing something called Masters of the Metaverse, Metapocalypse. I don't know. That sounds cool.
Sounds nerdy. Let's do it.
I got to meet OC Pritchett from Zombie Orpheus at Gen Con. He's a cool guy.
Nice.
So this is his channel. I don't know if he's on, but either way, we're gonna go and say hi. So everybody, have a great night. Thank you for coming, and see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah! Night, folks!
Bye.
Adios.